Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in this video, I'll be discussing why I organized an event called Model United Nations. So, when I got into university in 2020, uh, it was a very low standard university, not like the modern universities you see nowadays. So, the problem with that is they didn't have any co-curricular activities or anything for recreation. So as soon as I got into university first day, I remember 19 October 2020, I asked them on the orientation what about societies and student stuff, and they said we have horse riding club, and other than that there's nothing. So in a few weeks I understood that this university is all about studying and going back home just like school. So and co-curricular activities, societies are a crucial part of university activity. So from there on, I had a desire in my mind that if there isn't something, you must create it. So, uh, but time got by, and after 2 years, I saw an opportunity, and a new management came in, and they said that there are no societies existing in the university. So, what we want to do is empower the student and enable them to make their societies. So if you want something in your university, you can create it. But we will not create the societies ourselves. You have to submit a proposal, give a presentation, and do a lot of homework and defend the idea. If it is right, then we will make the society. So I put forth the proposal for two societies, and both of them got accepted. Before that, I had also made an interdepartment society, but due to some clashes, it got transferred over to our seniors, which they then demolished and didn't use it. Uh, some internal politics stuff, even though it didn't mean anything. It wasn't anything big. But by the societies, I started developing a team, made the body, and, and later on in that part, the societies during the end of my university years kind of started to fade away, and there wasn't much growth or progress in that. So then I was had like I had no hope that one of my societies was Model United Nations. So and I had no hope of like organizing a Model United Nation or conference because there were a lot of hurdles and stuff, because the university I studied in claimed to be Islamic, and majority of the management disagreed with the part that if you had to organize an event, it must be separate for male and female, and to organize a modern nation conference separate for male and female, where the audience you can't control them because majority of them coming from outside, and internal students weren't like had much exposure. Most of them didn't even know what MUN was. So what I did is like waited for an opportunity, and suddenly something came to me, like a girl reached out to me like she had experience and she could organize the conference. So at that time I was reading a lot of Robert Greene and 48 Laws of Power and stuff. So I I thought it was a perfect opportunity to practice my study and what I have been reading. So I maneuvered people around them, and eventually all the work was done by other people, and I had managed to organize the conference. In the event, it was a great learning experience, but eventually, what I learned that if you are doing something, you must own it and must do majority part of it, or if you're a soft leader or like do not take ownership of the task, then even if other person is doing it, then they will claim ownership of it if you're a strong leader, because in all the organizations all the hard work are done from the employees, and the CEO takes all the honor because the idea is his. So that's the same thing that was happening with my society. But the problem was that I was getting discredited, so I had to fight it out, and it was a very good learning experience, and eventually I managed to organize the conference. Uh, I wasn't the president, obviously, uh, because like, but I had read it was clashing with if I like making something. If I am taking ownership, then I'm putting myself in the line of fire, and that I didn't want. So overall, it was a great learning experience, and eventually, what I envisioned during my first year of university, it came out to be true. And like I can relate to it, most of it. Like I read a book called Visual Festation by Peter Adams. So anything you can visualize, you can make it a reality. And like scarcity of student activities in university actually forced me to do all of this. So if I had been in a university that had all of these activities, the chance of me doing all of this effort and becoming that founder and president of several societies would be impossible. And what that did later in educational type of background was like whenever I gave an interview on big companies or stuff like that, uh, they were really impressed because I was specifically mentioned and highlight that I am like doing mm, stuff. I have been a founder and vice president of several societies. So that was a very impressive point on them, and that actually put me on a higher level. Like I would reject roles just because I am the president or vice president of societies, and I am such a higher role in other societies. In even university, and like I know that like 30 or 40 people are working under me, so I must have something that they don't. So why should I settle for something that they would be settle on? Then they would settle for mediocre jobs or mediocre roles. Then there is no difference between me doing something extraordinary and them doing something normal. And there is the purpose is lost. So I had in my mind that if I even in outside of university or in career wise, I had to be better than them. So because if I am not, then what's the point of me doing all of this? And that actually helped me. And most of them are junior; they are still studying. I have graduated, but in terms of caliber, exposure, and all the skills that you learn from all of this really sets you apart. And all of the people who were in genuinely leadership positions, especially the president and I, are doing quite well in life rather than the other people who were after taking credit or after like showing off or but being harsh on other people, not being harsh on themselves, or still at the same point they were a few years ago. So, but after the event was organized on the day of event, I resigned from my position because the reason for that is twofold. One is that my tenure as the university was ending, my degree was near completion, so I had to basically, if I never did leave, I could be terminated naturally. The other thing that was like there's a 40 law of power. It is a law that says you in success know when to stop. So I followed that and stopped at the right time. So that is it for this video. See you in the next one.